Hey, what's up you guys? Shartimus Prime here, doing another movie review on the Godzilla 2014 reboot movie. Just saw it last night with the lovely Charlita 1, my brother Gordotron, and my father Shartimus Alpha. Yeah, everyone's got a name. So, I gotta say, first off, I'm going to give spoilers in this movie. I have to give spoilers in movies because I hate hearing spoilers before I see a movie, and I don't want to accidentally give spoilers trying to do a non-spoiler review, because that's not the way I like to take things in. You know, when people do non-spoiler reviews and they may slip up and something comes out anyway, you know, I don't want to do any of that, so I'm just going to give spoilers, so be warned. If you don't want to watch, go watch something else and then come back after you've seen the movie. Now, I want to talk about what kind of Godzilla fan I am, because Godzilla is a franchise that's been around for a very, very long time. And I am not the biggest Godzilla fan in the world, but I am a Godzilla fan regardless. So, around the age of like 9 or 10 or something like that, my dad encouraged me to rent some Godzilla movies when I was a kid, and I saw a few of them. I don't remember a whole lot. But I do remember kind of being bored, but then being really entertained. So it was, I remember it being a give and take. I remember not being so thoroughly entertained to the point where I went nuts on Godzilla, but I remember really enjoying them. And for some reason, Mothra, I remember being my favorite character, which I think is so weird when I think about it now, because back then, Mothra, yeah, I thought Mothra was really cool. All right. So anyway, recently, you know, with the hype of the movie coming out, a coworker of mine, Jose, at the warehouse, he's a huge Godzilla fan, and just feeding me movies to watch. You know, it's like, hey, you know, you're getting your Godzilla interest back up. So I've watched, and then also doing the reviews too. So I've been watching a few Godzilla movies, and you know, like the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. I didn't finish watching Godzilla SOS, and then I saw Godzilla Final Wars, and then Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah I've seen a couple of times. So I've had a number of Godzilla movie experiences. Now this movie I felt kind of fell in line with those movies, that especially, you know, like you know, Final Wars or Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. The movie is paced in a way where not a lot happens through the majority of the movie, but at the end of the movie you get a lot, and I felt like that build up to the end wasn't necessarily totally fulfilling, but I really enjoyed the movie regardless. So that's like my overall spectrum is I really liked the movie a lot. I just wanted more Godzilla in the movie. I liked the action, I liked the character development a lot. I was entertained by the non-Godzilla, was it Muto? Not Motu, not Mota, but Muto. And I really liked that monster. I thought it was going to be Rodan. I never heard of Muto before. I didn't know, and there's no Muto. So I liked Muto. I thought Muto was great. I just wish there was more Godzilla in the movie. And then another gripe of mine, excuse me, that's rude. But another gripe of mine was that the way that it was advertised, I thought Godzilla would look a bit larger. So the way, like in the promo shots of him standing in San Francisco, it's like Godzilla's like this big, and then the buildings are like that, you know. But in the movie, it's like the buildings are like this big, and Godzilla's like this big. You know, he's just like under the buildings. So, and San Francisco is not that big. I thought it was awesome that the main battles took place in San Francisco. I thought that was tight because, you know, I'm 15 minutes away from the city, so it was great to see my city get destroyed, even though it was just the financial district, which is a very small part of San Francisco of a whole. It's not a big city, man. We have big buildings, but there's not a whole lot of them. So the way they show that, I mean, really, I think Godzilla could take about 5 steps through the big, large buildings area, and that would be it. And then you're getting closer to, and then he'd already be through Chinatown and on his way into Van Ness. So that, I think, was, and there's no hospital down there, by the way. And the Coliseum, I hope that was the Oakland Coliseum, because I thought they're in San Francisco, and they show everybody in a stadium, That was definitely not Candlestick, and it was definitely not AT&T Park. That little details, who cares? Like, if you're not from the city, you don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you're not from San Francisco, you don't care about the details. But it was really cool seeing San Francisco. And I was trying to look for the Millennium Tower, but I don't think I saw it. It was a really big building right next to the Bay Bridge. Anyway, I digest. Bryan Cranston, not really in the movie that much, okay? That was a big surprise for me. He's in the movie for about 20 minutes, and then we lose Mr. White, and he's dead. He's just dead. That was kind of a trip. Now, I liked that. I liked that. The Lovely Charlie one was sad to see Mr. White go, but I was very happy about that. Not because I have anything against Bryan Cranston. I think Bryan Cranston is awesome. I love Breaking Bad, and I loved his performance in this movie. And he wasn't the same character, even though I rate Bryan Cranston is Walter White. Like, there's no getting around that. You know what I mean? Like, I have a right to know. Like, that is it. Like, that's what he does. But I like it. It's very emotionally charged and very strong performance from Mr. Cranston. I like his performance. It's what we expected, and he gave it, and that was cool. But he dies. He dies, which is kind of funny because he spends like 15 years trying to figure out, well, let me go rewind. The movie starts out with Cranston working in this, he works at the nuclear plant or whatever, and they get these tremors and the seismic readings come up, and it's almost, he figures out that it sounds like there's something communicating. Well, 15 years later, he looks into echolocation and stuff, but he basically picks up on that there's a monster of some sort, or there's something, you know, there that's trying, that's being hidden. And then his wife dies right before his very eyes, which is extremely emotional. I actually felt really, really sad, and you barely know the characters, you know what I mean? It happens very early in the movie, but it sets the stage for everything to come into play. Cranston has a little son, and then the son sees, you know, the plant just collapse on top of itself, and he knows his parents are there. So the mom dies, dad lives, and then we jump 15 years ahead. The son is all grown up. He's got his chick that looked like what, Maggie Gyllenhaal Jr., you know, she looked very much like Maggie Gyllenhaal to me, and then but more attractive. And then there's the son, and he's got his own little kid and everything. So there's this whole thing where you feel like you really want Cranston's son, the character's name is Ford, you really want Ford's family to make it, because you don't want history to repeat itself. You don't want anyone to die in this movie. So I really like that a lot. That was actually one of my favorite things about this movie, is that you really care about the characters. I really did anyway. And I thought that, and it keeps you in there. I was locked into this world that they gave us. I was really invested in the characters. I cared a lot. I really didn't want anybody to die. Like, I really, really was hoping nobody would get hurt. So I thought they really succeeded with that. And kind of unique for a Godzilla movie too, because for the most part we just want to see the monsters fight. That's why you go watch the Godzilla movie, is you want to see giant lizard destroy and punch other giant lizard monster thing. And now as far as that went, I thought Godzilla himself, awesome. I really like what they did with Godzilla. I thought they did a great... Man, it looked like they were trying to replicate the dude in the suit, but it was a giant CG version, you know, which was great. I'm glad they went that route. He just looked really cool. I can't say that enough. That's one thing that I'm being super redundant about, is that he just looked really cool. But they did tease us, and I felt like it was like, you know, when you're first getting with the chick, you know what I mean? You could tell the chick is into you or whatever, you know, and you're like, hey, you know, you're like, quit teasing me, you know, you're gonna see the D. I could already tell. Just stop teasing me, you know what I mean? Like, let's. So that's what I kind of felt like. I was getting teased. Like, we'd see the monsters start to fight. We'd see Muto and Godzilla start going at it, and then cut. Let's see some humans running around through the city. Like, I'm like, no, go back to that, man. I want to see the fight. What were you doing, man? Or you see the fight going on and cut. Kid watching TV. Oh, yeah, we could see the rest of the fight, like, behind the kid's shoulder on the little TV that he's watching. Oh, come on. Why'd you do that? Why'd you yank the panties up? Like, you know what I mean? What the hell's wrong with you? Show the full-on fight. And that was the biggest gripe of mine, is I wanted to see the full-on slug match, like just constant, like leave the camera in one spot even. Like I don't even really prefer that, but if it had to be that way for cost, like leave the camera in one spot and dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? And just fight each other, man. But we didn't really get that. It was chopped up. But what they showed us was awesome. The tail strike. That was a sick moment. Love that part. The tail strike was sick. There's this one, and then the atomic breath. Oh my god. Yes, I geeked out. Loved that part. Especially you see it start at the tip of the tail and goes all the way up. Bam! And then it came out looking like, it was kind of messy. Like it almost, it had the beam part of it, but it also kind of had like the swirl thing going around the beam. I thought that was cool, and it was very bright blue. I thought that was tight as hell. And then there's this one shot that I absolutely loved, where it's like he did like a tail strike thing but missed, and then you see the tail go past, like the tail strike's done, but Godzilla's there facing him, so he just basically turns around, and it's like he waits for the tail to finish going in front of your face, and bah, and does the oh man, that was sick. Love the atomic breath in the movie. It was awesome. And then the finisher. Oh jeez, the shotgun from hell. That was tight. I could have shotgunned an atomic breath right in his mouth. God, that was sick. That was really, really cool. Just wish there's a little bit more stuff in between, you know what I mean? Like as a fatality, I thought it was a great fatality, but I just wish we got more of the slug match fighting. But at the same time, I know I'm repeating myself, what they showed us was great. A lot of like buildings getting crushed, Godzilla getting crushed by buildings. The action was top notch. It's what I wanted. Just more of it. Now, if you haven't seen the movie yet and you're watching this, you're gonna be like, man, you sound like such a greedy fuck. Like, just get over it. Like, why can't you just enjoy what they gave you? You know what I mean? Why you gotta be like, oh, I want more? Watch the movie, man. It's a tease. It teases all the way through. It's a full-on tease. And that's what kind of pisses me off about it a little bit, is that it just, yeah, it reminds me of a very sexy woman that wants to give it up, but she's gonna tease you for days. Like, I've had this experience before, right? Alright, well, that's basically my review. I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch of things. There's a lot of other things to talk about, but that's basically my rundown of the movie. Really liked it a lot. I'm gonna see it again. Also, Big Wow Comic Fest starting tomorrow. I'm very, very excited about that. Me, Sean Long, Century Productions, Andrew from Toyworth, and Chew. We are going to be hosting the Toy Talk panel, Room D, 3 to 4 p.m. on Sunday, May 18th, 2014. Is that May 18th? It is May 18th, 2014. That's when it's going down. May 18th, San Jose Convention Center, Big Wow Comic Fest, 3 to 4 p.m., Room D. Alright, if you're in the local Bay Area, I hope you go there. I hope you guys dig my movie. I hope you guys dig my movie review. I will catch you later. Peace.